Welcome back, kids. This is part 2 of the PwnCNC ATC installation series. Today, we'll focus on the air compressor. I got the California Air 8-gallon, and I got the steel tank because it was a little bit cheaper than the aluminum tank. But let me tell you, that thing is so quiet, and you'll get to hear that for yourself later on in the video. And I also have the THB 3-stage airline filter. It takes care of the oil in the line and also moisture in the line, and probably something else I'm not thinking of right now. But anyway, it's 3-stage. In my opinion, it was pretty expensive. It's $180, but it was the one recommended by PwnCNC, and so I just went with it, and I think it's going to be great. I've never had an airline filter before, so this is my first one. And I did have a little bit of trouble when it came to adding the desiccant to the canister. But once I figured out the little trick there, it wasn't nothing to it. So you'll get to see that in the video too. And if you buy this model of filter, I think it's going to save you some time trying to figure out how to get that desiccant in the canister. So anyway, let's get with the video, and I'm going to show y'all how I did this. I've got my CNC pulled away from the wall. It's normal spot back here. Got to make room for this new compressor that will work with my future ATC tool changer. But man, what a mess back here. So first things first, I got to get that cleaned up and straightened up and make room. So here we go. All right. This is that test board I did on the previous video. I'm going to recycle it, and I'm going to use it. Got holes drilled 16 inches apart. It's 18 inches long. That way I can hit the studs under. Let's see, stud right here and one right here. And I'm just going to put it somewhere right in here. Give me a level on that. I can get all 4 of those screw holes. Will be going into something solid instead of just that paneling. Shifted on me. Bullseye. Okay, I had a terrible time trying to figure out how to get the desiccant in here, and it may seem simple up front, but once you get in here, it gets real complicated real fast. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, and I think I can save y'all a whole lot of time. And the first thing you'll need to do, and you can see I've already got my fittings. I mean, I'm good to go. Everything is ready, except this is where we're going to put the desiccant in here. So I'll show you why it's complicated. The instructions that come with this thing are worthless. I mean, they just practically no information. But you'll just open it up like this and pull it off of there. And when you do, this is what you're greeted with. And if you look up in here, that looks like it may be one piece. I don't know, but you can see there's a screen up in the top of there. But the problem is this tube has to come out of here because if it doesn't come out of there, there's no way to pour your desiccant in here. And you can't pour the desiccant in here until that tube is fastened down at the bottom of this thing. So the tube has to be in there when you pour the desiccant in. Here's the trick. And this is what's not obvious and should be in the instructions, but this pulls out of there. It's just friction fit with the O-ring up in there. And the first time you do that, it's very hard to get it out of there. I mean, I had to really crank down and pull to get that thing out. But anyway, once you get this out, it's clear sailing in. And so here's the process to load your desiccant in there. First things first, because I've taken mine on and off so many times now, I'm worried it may not seal properly. I'm going to put a little bit of pipe dope on there. Same thing I used before. It was the right there, Great White Pipe Joint Compound. A little tube of it. Got it at Ace Hardware. I'm just going to put a little bit of that on that O-ring there. It may not be necessary, but I'm hoping when I put it together this time, it's for the last time. So y'all don't know the misery I have suffered getting to this point.
Are you serious
so anyway,
right now, bro?
All right, I've got that little bit of pipe dope down there on that O-ring. I'm going to drop this in here. And at this point, you need to go ahead and put your nut back on there. Snug it up best you can. All right. So now we're ready to pour the desiccant in here. So let's do that. I've got it right here. You can't let the desiccant get in that pipe. So just stick your finger in there.
That's what she said.
And pour the desiccant. And it says fill it to about a ½ inch from the top. Mine's about an inch from the top. We're going to roll with it. So you're just going to push this up in there, and it's going to slide up inside that O-ring there, and that'll seal that off. So let me show you how to do that. And don't forget, but you just put it up in there, push it pretty hard, slide it right in, or twist it right in there. And that right there was a lot easier than it was the first time I did that. So the more I'm doing this, the easier it's getting. So that's why I'm hoping I don't have to go in there anymore. I don't want to compromise that seal. So anyway, now we're ready to put it back on the wall and continue from there. All right, let's get this thing back up on the wall. Like I said earlier, I got my fittings. Those come in from Amazon the other day. I'll have a link to all the fittings that I used for my setup here in the description below in a section of its own, so it'll be easy to find that. So basically, here's what I've got. This is the hose that's going to go out to the pneumatic enclosure. It's just going to plug in over here. And this is the one coming from the compressor. It's right there. And that's it. I'm ready to go. And I'll have some good close-up pictures of how I've got mine set up, just in case y'all need help with that. I come out of mine with a 90-degree elbow. And I think I explained that earlier in the video. I didn't want all of this to be jutting, coming straight out like this, because when I move my CNC back in place, you know, the correct table is going to be right up here, and I don't want it bumping up against that. So I put a 90-degree in mine. There I've got a ball valve, and then this is just my quick connect, which I put the quick connects on the hose, and I just have that fitted there. That makes it simple. And then it goes up, comes into the 3-stage filter here, comes out over here, and this line will go to the pneumatics enclosure on the ATC. And one other thing, I'm probably going to come back and redo this. I want some kind of a splitter here so I can have this line go to the pneumatic enclosure, but I would like to have another one where I can just hook up one of those curly air lines, plug it in here, and then run it up under my Craig bench and to the front, and that way I could just blow off dust or stuff when I needed to. So I think that would be pretty handy. So anyway, that's kind of my plan. We'll see how that plays out. All right, here we're going to do the sound comparison. This is my old Harbor Freight 8-gallon compressor. I'm going to turn it on, and I will also be using a decibel meter on my phone, and you'll see that off to the side on the screen. So let me turn this on. That's pretty loud. All right, now I'm going to move it over here, and we'll do the California air. Should be about the same distance away. Thing just purring. That really is a nice compressor for the money. That's it for this one, kids. What y'all think about that sound comparison between the Harbor Freight and the California Air? And I know some of y'all may be thinking, well, that's not a fair comparison, but you know, the Harbor Freight is not any louder than any Craftsman or any other 8-gallon compressor that I've ever been around. That California Air is just, it's unbelievably quiet. So that is really, I think that's going to be a good compressor for the money, because it wasn't that much. So y'all check that out. I have a link to that below, plus everything else that I used in this project today. And now I need to thank our new members and supporters. We got Ted Litz, Michael Beckwith, John Johnner, Michelle Z, John Slavin, and Brian Pittman. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. It just makes everything worthwhile. So, and I also want to let y'all know that today I have created membership levels that match Patreon and YouTube on Buy Me a Coffee. So check that out, and the perks I think are y'all gonna like that, and those things can grow as we go on. I'm not really sure how it's going to evolve, but I'm going to make sure all of you that are joining get your money's worth. So, and if y'all have any comments, questions, suggestions, video suggestions, uh, membership perk suggestions, post them down below. We need to communicate on this, because I'm serious, guys. I want this to be a good thing for everybody. So, but anyway, I think that's it for this one. Until next time, y'all take care, and I'll see you on the next video.